So, good day everyone. Our topic is all about geometric series. So, ano ba yung geometric series? Geometric series, it is often used to describe a mathematical series or a sequence in a context of limits, convergence, and function. So, it is defined, so yung geometric series defined as the sum of the terms in our geometric sequence. So, used to define as the sum of the term or terms of a geometric sequence of a geometric sequence. So, hahanapin yung sum ng lahat ng term na binigay. So, our formula here, so, we have first a two type of geometric series. So, first is we have the finite series. So, what is finite series? When we say finite series, ito yung geometric sequence, ito yung common ratio niya, wherein the absolute value of common ratio is what we call greater than or equal to 1. So, pag finite series, ang ginagamit nating formula, we have S of n or Sn is equals to S of 1 times the quantity of r raised to n minus 1 over r minus 1. So, wherein our Sn is the yung term na hinahanap or yung the nth term. So, Sn, where Sn is the nth term, and then S of 1, of course, is our first term. Then our r is what yung common ratio or what we call the common ratio in our geometric sequence. And then of course our n is the number of terms. So ito yung para sa finite series. Then the second one is the infinite. So pag meron tayong finite, meron din tayong infinite, wherein the value of the common ratio or the absolute value of common ratio is less than 1. So yung common ratio natin is less than 1. So ano yung formula natin? So we have here our formula is S is equals to S of 1 over 1 minus R, wherein same dito, ang ating S of 1 is ito yung sum nung buong term doon sa hinahanap ng geometric series, and then our S of 1 or S of 1 is the first term minus over 1 or divided by 1 minus R, the common ratio. So yun yung tatandaan natin sa rule of geometric series. We will do now the first, we will execute the first one, which is the finite series. So, meron tayo ditong given problem. Find the sum of the first 5 terms of the geometric sequence 2, 6, 18, and 54. So, dito, ang gagawin natin is, first, we will write the given formula. So, S of n is equals to S of 1 or S of 1 times the quantity of r raised to n over minus 1 over r minus 1. So, first is we will find those, we will going to find the value of those, yung kailangan natin para ma-execute yung formula. So, what is our Sn? So, ang hinahanap natin dito is, ito, sabi niya, first 5 terms. So, 5. Ace of 1 or ace of 1 is, ano ba yung pinaka-first term natin? So, 2. And then, common ratio. So, ano yung common ratio natin dito given na, dapat pag i-multiply mo sa first and then sa preceding term, so same ang lalabas. So ang gagawin lang natin is i-divide natin yung isang term or this term sa dito and then ito ang ganito. If same yung lumabas, yun yung common ratio natin. So 54 divided by 18 is 3. Then 18 divided by 6 is 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we have here our common ratio 3. So let's check. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 times 3 is 54. So our common ratio therefore is 3. Ano pa yung kailangan natin? So we have here also the n or the number of terms. So we have the 5. 5 kasi 1, 2, 3, 4 on then 5, diba? Kasi yung hahanapin nating terms. So the first 5 terms. Then so pwede na nating i-substitute yung mga given sa formula. So S of n, n natin is 5. We have then the S of 1 is 2. 2 times the quantity of r. Ano yung r natin? So we have 3 raised to n, wherein ang value ni n is 5 minus 1 all over common ratio, value of common ratio 3 minus 1 is equals to yan. So we have here copy S of 5 2. So parentheses PEMDAS, right? So P is for parentheses. We have first 3 times or 3 raised to 5 is, so kung i-calculate natin ito, we'll get first the calculator. So we have here our calculator. So it's loading. But I think 3 raised to 5 is 243, I guess. 3 raised to 5 is 400, 200. So copy 2 times quantity of 243. Then copy that. Minus. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So S of 5 is equals to 2, copy 243 minus 1 is 242 over 2. So S of 5, 2. So 242 divided by 2. 242 divided by 2 is 121. So for our final answer is of 5, 2 times 121. So times 2 is 242. So our answer here is the sum of the first 5 terms of the geometric sequence 2, 6, 18, and 54, and the is 242. Okay, so that is finite series, and then now we will execute the infinite series. So we have here the given problem. Find the sum of the infinite geometric series 1 plus 1 over 5 plus 1 over 25 plus 1 over 125. So infinite series, there is given or meron tayong hinahanap na term. But then, dito sa infinite series, walang term na hinahanap. So, our formula for infinite series is S, or the sum, is equals to A of 1 minus, or A of 1, sorry, over 1 minus R, or the ratio. So, we will first find the given or the equivalent value of yung nandito sa ating formula. So, A of 1, of course, the first term is 1. Our ratio is, what is the ratio of the given geometric series? So, we have here the calculator. So, we will do also kung paano yung process ng pinagkuha natin kayo. So, 1 over 125 divided by 1 over 25. So, that is 0.2. But, if we will do or convert it into fractions, so, we'll get 1 over 5. So our ratio is, common ratio is 1 over 5. So itatry din natin siya sa iba. So 1 over 25 divided by 1 over 5 is 0.2, or same siya doon. So we have the common ratio of 1 over 5. So 1 over 5. Then we will now do or execute our formula since meron na tayo. So S is equals to value ng ace of 1 natin, wherein 1 over 1 minus 1 over 5. So, copy the S, copy the 1, then 1 minus 1 over 5, that is 4 over 5. So, the sum of the infinite geometric series 1 plus 1 fifth plus 1 25th plus 1 over 125 is 5.5 over 4. So, that is how we will get the or execute the geometric series using the infinite and finite series. Okay, so our next topic is about power series. So what is we will define first what is the power series. So power series is a special type of infinite series representing a mathematical function in the form of an infinite series that either converges or diverges. So, there are two types of power series. So, or i-test natin sa power series, interval of convergence, wherein set of all values of which the power series converges. So, next is yung ratio or radius of convergence. So, tinitest dito yung hinahanap yung largest des at the center of the series in which the series converges. So, always then na remember that in power series, so ang inaano sa power series is if the formula or the given equation has a form, or sa form niya, wherein in the form or equation, it has a raised to n. So meron tayong raised to n sa equation. Yun is tinatawag natin power series. So we have here a given summation of negative 1 raised to n times 2n times the quantity of x minus 1 raised to n divided by 2n 2n from n is equals to 1 to infinity. So ito yung given natin sa power series. But then, in power series, we will test its convergence and divergence. So, tinitest natin yung, kung ang given ba is, nagpo-fall siya into convergence and divergence. So, the first thing that we need to do in power series is the ratio or radius test. So, in radius test, nililimit natin yung value nung or division between the an plus 1 over an. Wherein, pag ang result natin sa ratio test is ang limit is less than 1, so nagpo-falls to into convergence. Convergence. Pag naman ang L natin is greater than 1 siya, so nagiging divergence. And then, if our limit is equals to 1, so I cannot recall the exact technical word nung ano sa tawag pa ang limit natin is equal siya sa 1, but then we will use the undecided or undetermined. So, paki-check na lang or pakihanap na lang kung ano ba yung exact term or word natin na tawag pag ang ating limit is nag-equal siya sa 1. So, here our given dito. So, ang ating a and then is we'll write the L or the limit of limit n is equal to infinity. So, dito is ba tawag dito? I-execute so absolute value of ano ba yung an natin? So, negative 1 raised to n plus 1 to n plus 1 times x minus 1 raised to n plus 1 over 2n plus 1 times, so, di ba, pag nagmo-multiply tayo, ano ba yung ginagawa natin pag nagmo-multiply? Di ba, nire-reciprocal lang natin yung given. So, 2n, we will do the reciprocal lang nito, 2n over negative 1 raised to n times 2n times x minus 1 raised to n. So, ito yung bago na natin equation wherein yung itong equation na to is substitute natin siya dito. So, pag next na step natin, pag meron ka nang nakita na same na term, so we have here a same term wherein ang term natin is here, di ba? Ito, meron na tayong term na ganito, so ikina-cancel na itong mga ito. So, lahat na ng term na pares dyan is pwede na tayong mag-cancellation. So, ang may iwan na lang dito since parehas to is the 1. So, meron na lang tayong 1. So, we'll do L is equals to limit of n equals to infinity or approaching infinity. So, we have here, nag-simplify pa lang tayo, hindi pa tayo nagtitake ng limit. So, sinisimplify natin to using the cancellation. So, the first na ika-cancel natin is the negative 1 raised to n plus 1 and this 1 na negative 1 raised to n. So, since meron pa tayong plus 1 dito, gagawin natin is tatanggalin yan. Then, we have here the negative 1 raised to 1 times, so ano pa ba yung pwede nating iwan? So, we have here also, right, yung itong part, ito, and then, ano pa ba, yung tinatanggal natin, meron pa tayong dito, so ito, meron pa tayong 1, so ang naiwan is 2 times n plus 1 times x minus 1 divided by, so ito yung natira, since may 1 pa tayo dito is 2n, and then same dito, times 2. So, yun, kinansel na natin, and then, isi-simplify natin siya ulit. So, we'll do the distribution. So, L is equal to limit of n approaching infinity wherein to. So, negative 1 raised to 1 is negative 1 times 2 times n is 2n plus 2 times 1 is 2 times copy x minus 1 over 2n times 2 is 4n. So, ito na yun. Then, the next thing na ginagawa natin is that nilalabas natin yung value ng x, diba? So, ilalabas natin yung value ng x from here. So, pag nilabas o naglagay ng absolute value, lahat ng nasa equation is nagiging positive. So, ilabas natin, L is equals to absolute value of x minus 1. So, ito, lim. Ito yung x natin ha, x. Lim, and then 2n plus 2 over 4n. So, yan ang ilabas na natin. So, dito, ano ang limit pag ganito yung form? So, pag same na ng degree, tinitake na natin yung coefficient ng highest degree wherein 2 divided by 4. So, divide mo lang siya. So, we have here, ano ba yung 2 over 4? So, we have 1 half. So, yun na yung limit nun. Ito yung limit niya. So, 1 half, absolute value of x minus 1 is, yung value ng limit dito is we have lim x minus, or lim is equals to L, or limit is equals to x minus 1 times 1 over half. So, ito na siya. Limit is, tinitake na natin kung greater than 1 siya, diba? So, less than 1, since siya doon, is equals to 1 half x minus 1 is greater than 1. So, hanapin natin siya dito. 1x minus 1 greater than 2. X minus 1 is greater than 2. So, you have here, ang ano natin is, ito, negative 2. So, 2 less than x, negative 1 is less than 2. So, ano lang natin to, ano lang natin siya. So, we have here, i-simplify, negative 1 less than x less than 3. So, ano ba yung ano natin? Negative 1 minus 3. So, nasa gitna siya, di ba? Nasa gitna yung x. So, we have our ratio or the radius is 2. So, sorry. Our, is, ulitin ko lang kasi hindi siya narinig, di ba? So, ito na yon. And then, our radius is 2. So, yung radius natin is 2. So, isa-substitute na natin yung value. So, always remember na negative 1 is less than x, less than 3. So, for x natin, tapin natin yung x is ito muna. First is the negative 1. So, ano na ba yung given natin? Ito, we have the summation of negative 1 raised to n times x minus 1 raised to n divided by 2n from n is equals to 1 up to or approaching to infinity. So, yan, di ba yung given natin. So, we will substitute yung x natin sa, ang value ng x natin dito. So, copy lang natin. So, summation of negative 1 raised to n to n. So, ano yung value ng x natin? Negative 1 minus 1 raised to n over 2n from n is equals to 1 to infinity. So, copy na lang natin. Negative 1 raised to n, 2n. So, negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2 raised to n over 2n. So, pag ganito na yung given natin, ibig sabihin yan, yung ito natin, hindi siya nag-fall or doesn't exist na siya. Kasi, yung ano natin, hindi siya, yung limit natin, hindi siya nag-fall into 1. So, next is, for x is equals to 3, we have, same din yung gagamitin. So, negative 1 raised to n, 2n. Ano yung x natin? 3 minus 1 raised to n over 2n. So, negative 1 raised to n, 2n. 2 minus 3, we have 2n, right? So, over 2n. So, cancellation kasi same, di ba? Magkamukha. So, we have now, limit is equals to negative 1 raised to n kasi ito na lang natira, n, 2n. So, same din. Pag ganito ang lumabas, ganito na, doesn't exist din siya. So, ibig sabihin, ito natin, negative 1 less than x less than 3 is nag-divergence siya. So, yung limit natin is nag-fall siya sa divergence. So, yun lang. Ito yung pinaka-final answer ng our original equation. So, our third topic is about alternating series. So, ano ba yung alternating series? So, when you say alternating series, basically, ito yung sign or it is a series. It is a series wherein the sign is alternating. So, yung sign ng sa series natin is nag-alternate siya. So, nag-change siya from positive to goes to negative and so forth. So, positive, negative, or positive, ganun. So, nag-alternate siya. So, we have here a equation. So, summation of negative 1 raised to n times 1 over n from n is equals to 1 to infinity. So, dito, pag ang n natin is 1, so mag-i-start tayo from the first term is negative 1. And then, if ang n natin is 2, then ang ating next term is positive 1/2. Then, follow the pattern, we get negative 1/3, positive 1/4, negative, and so on. So, yun. Then, if the series of, ito, 1 over n is the harmonic series, then, ibig sabihin, it is divergence. But, because, the sign ng series natin is alternating, then, this harmonic series natin is, aalamin natin if convergence ba siya or divergence. So, i-apply natin yung ating topic na alternating series test. So, ano ba exactly yung alternating series? So, first, we need to have a series. So, we can have here negative 1 raised to n times an. So, times an. So, summation from n is equals to 1 to infinity. Or, pwede rin in a form of summation of negative 1 raised to n plus 1 times an from n is equals to 1 to infinity, wherein itong an natin, this an is ito yung magsasabi if anong sign yung gagamitin natin, if it is positive or negative. And then this an is i-find out natin if it is greater than or equal to 0. So now, in order to work this alternating series, we have two rules. So the first one, we have two rules na dapat is ma-meet nung equation natin or ng series natin. So the first rule is dapat ma-pass or maipasa niya or ma-meet ng series yung divergence test natin. So if we take lim n is equals to or goes to infinity with series of an is equals to 0. So pag ganito yung tinake na limit nung series natin, it means na na-meet niya yung divergence test natin. And then the second rule is that dapat yung next term ng an plus 1 is less than siya sa next na, or I mean sa previous na term. So yan, this one is the first term and then this one is the second term. So dapat itong second term natin is itong first term natin is less than siya sa previous term niya. So pag na-meet niya yung first rule and the second rule, ibig sabihin yung series natin, the series goes to convergence. So yun yung rules ng alternating series. So let's execute this alternating series sa example. So we have here a series of summation of negative 1 raised to n times 1 over n from n is equals to 1 goes to infinity, or to infinity is equals to negative 1 plus 1 half minus or negative 1/3 plus 1 half plus and so forth. So first thing we need to do is let's find the value of n, wherein ano ba yung value ng an natin. So our an is this one. Our an is equals to 1 over n. Then this negative 1 raised to n, ito yung controlling ng sign natin. Ito yung magko-control kung anong sign ba dapat yung ating a's of n. So now let's take the limit. So we have limit of n goes to infinity with a series of 1 over n is equals to 0. So here yung 1 over n natin is divergence siya sa 0. So ibig sabihin this series passes the divergence series. Next is let's see naman kung ang ating series is na-meet or it is a decreasing series. So kailangan nating ipakita or i-show that an plus 1 is less than a's of n. So now ang value ng an natin is 1 over n. Then the value of our a's of n plus 1 is 1 over n plus 1. So here anong value ng an plus 1 natin? We have 1 over n plus 1 is less than or equal to 1 over n. Then let's say na yung n natin is 1. So let's execute 1 over n, value of n 1 plus 1 less than or equal to 1 over value of n 1. So 1 over 1 plus 1 2 less than or equal to simplify 1 over 1 is equals to 1. So here since the denominator is, or let's say that 1 is greater than 1/2, so since the denominator here is greater than n, then this fraction is less than the second fraction. So ito is less than siya sa second fraction natin. So keep in mind that kapag increase yung denominator natin, so ito yung denominator, pag nag-increase yan, the whole fraction, so lahat ng itong buong fraction na to is magpo-false or goes down. So since that na-meet din, nakapas din to sa second rule natin na yung series natin is decreasing. So decreasing yung ating series. So now we can conclude that this series is naipasa niya yung first rule, which is the divergence test. Then second rule is yung decreasing. So nag-decrease yung series natin. Ibig sabihin yan, this series is goes to divergence. So yung series natin is nag-fall siya into convergence. Kasi nga, naipasa niya yung dalawang rule or na-meet niya yung dalawang requirement ng alternating series para masabi na yung series natin is convergence. Our next topic, this would be our last topic for today's discussion. We have Maclaurin and Taylor series. So these two type of series is under siya ng power series. So, hatiin natin or i-breakdown natin kung ano ba or paano ba kunin itong Maclaurin and Taylor series. So, first, let's define what is Taylor series. So, according to the definition of Taylor series, the function ng series is function of f of x can be expressed to summation of x minus a raised to n f n times a all over n factorial from n is equals to 0 goes to infinity. So, ito yung function of Taylor series, wherein our a here is what we call the center of Taylor series. And then our f of n, value of a, is what we call the nth derivative or derivative of the function of f, wherein yung f natin is, or the value of x is equals to the value of a, or equals to a. So, before we go to the shortcut of Taylor series, we all know that and according to the definition of Taylor series, if a is equals to 0, or the center of Taylor series is equals to 0, then we can say that the Taylor series is equals to Maclaurin series. So, yun yung tandaan natin Taylor is, if a is equals to 0, then Taylor series is equals to Maclaurin series. So, by substitution or substituting the a from the equation, this would just be up to derive from a most common function that has a standard for Maclaurin series. So, meron tayo dito Euler exponent. So, ano ba yung mga yun? So, we have here the first one is ex, sin x, and then cos x. So, first is ex. So, ex is equivalent to summation of xn all over n factorial from n is equals to 0 goes to infinity. Next is sin of x. We have here summation of negative 1 raised to n x 2n plus 1 all over 2n plus 1 factorial from n is equals to 0 goes to infinity. And then the second one here, the cos x, is summation of negative 1 raised to n x is 2n all over 2n factorial from n is equals to 0 goes to infinity. So, if mapapansin mo, all of the limit of this series is up to what? So, up to infinite. Kaya, so now, let's try an example of Maclaurin series. So, this one, ito yung Euler exponent natin. So, always remember that and memorize that when we will execute or find the Maclaurin series at the same time yung Taylor series natin. So, we have here a given problem or equation that find the Maclaurin series of sin 2x. So, now, paano natin hahanapin yung Maclaurin series of sin 2x? So, we have here step 1. So, our step 1, you must memorize the 3 basic equation. So, ito yon. Ito yung 3 basic equation ng Euler exponent. So, from this, ano yung equation natin? So, our equation is sin 2x, right? So, therefore, ang gagamitin natin is yung format ng sin x, since para sila ng sin. So, wherein, yung value ng x dito is, isusubstitute natin yung 2x. So, we have here, sin equals to sin copy that x is equals to summation of negative 1 raised to n. So, substitute yung value ng x. So, we have 2x over, raised to 2m plus 1 all over 2n plus 1 factorial. From n is equals to 0 goes to infinity. So, yung x natin is naging 2x. So, therefore, lahat nung natin is i-raise din natin into 2n plus 1. So, here, this is the second step. Ito yung second step natin. Yung, isusubstitute yung 2x, and then here, ang ating summation is equals to 0. So, dito, from this step, this equation na nakuha natin, this would be enough equation or enough answer na siya. But then, in addition to 3 basic equation, this one, so, mag-introduce ako ng another na method or way to, na na-derive from geometric series equation. If maalala nyo yung infinite geometric series. So, this, ano ba yung ating formula doon, di ba? Sum of A or A of 0 all over 1 minus R, or A over 1 minus R. So, this one, we will apply the rule of power series that R all equal to infinite. So, or ibig sabihin nito is yung rule ng power series na ano sa upper limit, they are equal to infinite, equal siya sa infinite. So, we can clearly say that the function of f of x, or here, the sum of a's of 0 minus 1 all over 1 minus r is equal siya sa function of f of x is equals to 1, wherein yung ating a's of 0 is 1 over 1 minus x, since yung r natin is x. So, here we could say that this one is equal. This equation and this equation is equal. And then, we will derive or i-change natin yung equation. So, from summation of a's of 0, so this one, a's of 0, r raised to n from n is equals to 0 goes to infinity. Or we could say then that this equation can be expressed as f of x is equals to summation of x, since ito yun natin, x is raised to n from n is equals to 0 to infinity. So, ito yung answer natin sa Maclaurin series. So, ito, function of f of x is equals to summation of x raised to n from n is equals to 0 goes to infinity. So, now, after getting the Maclaurin series ng unang function, ito na yung sagot natin sa ito na yung nakuha nating answer from the first given problem. So, we will execute now the Taylor series. So, given the problem, determine the Taylor series of the function f of x is equals to e raised to 3x whose center at x is equals to 4. Now, pwede natin gamitin yung 3-step method dito. But first, in order to use the step method, kailangan pa rin natin i-memorize itong tatlong ito. So, the first step is determine the Maclaurin series of the given equation. So, ano yung Maclaurin series natin dito? So, we have e of 3x is equals to, we will use the this one, the ex, since ito yung ating Maclaurins, diba? So, we have summation of 3x raised to n all over n factorial from n is equals to 0 goes to infinity, or equal to summation of n is equals to 0 3n xn over n factorial goes to infinity. So, dito using the distribution, so i-distribute lang natin 3 times raised to n, then x times raised to n. So, ito na yung ating using the ex. So, ex natin, ito yung equation. And then, step 2, all of x must be shifted to 0, or 4 is equals to 0. So, i-shift natin yung x all to 0. So, this would become x is equals to 4 is equals to 0. So, yung x natin is i-shift natin, x is equals to 4 will be shift to x minus 4 is equals to 0. In other words, kailangan natin ma-execute o ma-exclude yung center into 0. So, lahat ng value ng x is ma-shift sa equation na x is x minus 4. Then, using the step 1, i-execute na natin siya. So, we have summation of 3n times x minus 4 raised to n all over n factorial from n is equals to 0 up to infinity. So, ito na yung step 2 natin. And then, for the last step, step 3, we need to substitute the center to the given equation. So, yung center natin, which is 4, is kailangan nating substitute into the given equation. So, ano ba yung equation natin kanina? We have e raised to 3x. Therefore, e raised to 3x. Then, the x would be 4. So, the answer is e raised to 12. Now, ano yung magiging final answer natin? So, therefore, our final answer, para makuha natin yan, this third step would be, i-multiply natin into the second step. So, dito, itong third step natin, i-multiply natin siya sa second step natin. So, therefore, our answer is summation of ito, 3n times yung value x minus 4 times ito, e raised to 12 all over n factorial from n is equals to 0 to infinity. So, therefore, Taylor series of the function e raised to 3x with the center of x is equals to 4. So, ito yung kanyang final answer. So, that ends our lesson. I hope you learned something.